Hi, in this video lecture, we will learn how to concatenate two or more data frames. Here, we are considering the data of students placed in various companies in the campus. Students get the opportunity to appear in multiple drives and have multiple offers from various companies. I have created one data frame for storing the details of the students placed in each company, like TCS, Wipro, and Infosys. These are three companies what I've considered. And if you can just observe out here, Bharjina is placed in TCS as well as Wipro. The same way Anurag is placed in TCS and Infosys, and Mr. Ram is placed in Wipro as well as in Infosys. So here I've created a dictionary, and from a dictionary, I'm just trying to convert it into a data frame. So data frames are created. Now we can just look into this particular data frames by just trying to print this df underscore TCS, df underscore Wipro, df underscore Infosys. You can just observe this is your TCS, this is your Wipro, and your Infosys. So each of these data frames has the details of the students who are placed in that particular company. Now, I would like to combine the details of all the placements which are into multiple companies into one data frame. Pandas provides us the concat function to perform this operation of combining multiple data frames. So the syntax is pd.concat, and here the data frames, whatever you want to combine into one, they need to be passed as a list or as a tuple. So I'm just passing it as a tuple, df underscore TCS, df underscore Wipro, and df underscore Infosys. I'm just trying to see this one, how it works. You can just observe all these three things are combined. The details of the students from TCS, Wipro, and Infosys, everything is combined into one data frame. But here, what happened is I lost the information on company names. Like earlier, when you said df underscore TCS, that was giving information about TCS, or df underscore Wipro was giving me information about students placed in Wipro. But now if I just combine into it and let's say df underscore placement, then here I have the details of the students, but I don't know which student is placed in which company. So for this, what I'd like to do it is, before I can concatenate, I'd like to add one more column for the data frames, wherein the column name will be company and the data in that will be the name of the company. So here I'll just try to add a column called as company, and then here I'll just try to write TCS. And after that, I'd like to also have a look at this data frame and see is this properly added or not. And the same way for Wipro, I'd like to add a column called as company again, and the company name will be Wipro. And after that, I'd like to see if this is added. And the same way for Infosys also, company equal to Infosys, and then I'd like to see this. So now these data frames have two columns, the name and the company. Now if I try to combine this and then collecting the result into a data frame called as df underscore placement, I'd like to print that. Now when you look at this data here, you can get to know, okay, that this student is placed in TCS, this student is placed in Wipro. So we get to know the information. The next thing what you can observe out here is the index, the labeled index 0, 1, 2, 3. This was the labeled index what we had in TCS. But for next record, the fifth record, instead of having the index as 4, it is having the index as 0. Again, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because that was the same index what we had it in Wipro. Shashank had 0, Ram had 1. You can just observe Shashank had 0, Ram had 1, Akash 2, Bharjina 3, and then Ashish 4. So the index from the original data frames have been retained in the final one. But if you basically want to say that I don't want to retain the index, I want to remove the index and then reset the index, I can do that. But before we do this, this has basically given us an opportunity to understand one more point out here, that is the difference between LOC and iloc, right? And then here you can also observe that your row labels, multiple row labels, have the same value. It is 0 here, it is 0 here, and 0 here. The same way, 1, 2, 3. Now, if I want to access a record based on the label index, like for example, df underscore placement dot loc, and if I pass 0, now will it only give me the first record, or will it give me all the records with the labeled index 0? Yeah, LOC is the one which works on labeled index, and since we basically have 3 records with the labeled index 0, it's going to give me all the 3 records. The same way, if we talk about 4 out here, so we had 2 records with the labeled index 4. But what about iloc? iloc basically works based on position. The ordering sequencing out there. At index 0, okay, or you can say the position 0, we have only one record, position 1, we have another one, position 2, 3, that way. I will also show you out here. See, the labeled index, what we had is like 0 to 3, then 0 to 4, and 0 to 4. If I try to say 5 with LOC, I did not have any record with the label 5 here, right? Okay. Now, with iloc, I had around 14 records. So I can use 5, 6, right? I can use this. I'm getting it, Akash. So 6 is basically a 7th record. So you can just go and have a look out here. 0, okay, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. This is my 7th record with the index value 2. Fine. So I hope this basically clarified the doubt with regards to LOC as well as iloc. Right. Now, let us say while concatenating, I don't want to retain the original index. Instead, those index to be dropped, and then I wanted the index from 0 to n minus 1. So in that case, what I can just do out here is I can just take up this concat here. I can pass on another parameter called as ignore underscore index, and I will just say true. And if I try to run this, the data in the name and company remains the same, but observe the index 0, 1, 2, 3. After that, it is not restarting from 0, or you can say it is not retaining the original index what it had in the Wipro data frame. Instead, it is continuing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this way, if you don't want the original index to be retained, if you want the index to be reassigned, so we can basically say ignore index. Now, this particular data set also gives us an opportunity to apply some of the other functions. Like for example, in this particular data set, I have the details of various companies which are visited the campus, as well as the students placed in every company. But I just wanted to know how many companies visited the campus and what are the name of the companies. So for that, it's very easy. So you can just try to take this data frame name dot. If you want to know the number of company visited, access the company column and then just try to say n unique. This will give you the number of companies visiting the campus. There are 3 companies. And if you want to know what are these companies visited, so you can just use unique. So this will give the list of companies. And as we have seen that same student has got multiple offers. If you want to know how many unique number of students who have got the offer, then I can apply this n unique, but not on the company field, on the name field of the student. So that will tell me the total number of unique students who are placed. Okay, if a student has got offer for multiple places, it will be considered as 1, not as if he has 4 offers, it will not be considered as 4. And if you just wanted to know the list of students who are placed without getting into any kind of duplicate, see, if I just try to write just the names here, it will give me the names column, wherein I know that some of the names are repeated. Like we had Barjina here, we had Barjina here, and then we have Ram here and Ram here. Fine. But I don't want same names to be repeated multiple times. Okay, I just want to know total number of students placed, not the total number of offers provided. Then we can just try to write unique. You can just observe in this particular case, Bharjina's data is present only once, not multiple times. The same way, Ram is also present once, right? Akash, Adarsh, everybody is present only once, nobody's data is repeated. So I hope the concept of concat is clear. In the next video lecture, we will learn how do we concatenate across the columns. Thank you.